Welcome back to the show. So, I'm curious, do you currently offer meal planning services to your clients? And if you don't, is this something that you are maybe interested in doing at some point? Now, if the idea of integrating meal planning is intriguing to you, but you just can't really figure out how to make it work, or you're kind of worried that it's going to be a ton of additional work for very little reward, then this episode is definitely for you. So my guest today is Evita Basilio, and Evita is a registered dietitian at That Clean Life, which is a nutrition planning software for high performance health professionals. Now, That Clean Life empowers health professionals with tools to share nutrition guidance in a really beautiful and simple way and provides just a fundamentally different nutrition planning experience. So I'm really excited to share this interview with you because I had a terrific conversation with Evita, and she shared just a ton of really valuable nuggets and of information for those of you who are either doing meal planning right now or who are interested in offering this to your clients. And that's even if you've got some hesitation. So let's get into this interview. Hey, Evita, welcome to the show.
Hi, I'm so excited to be here. Thank you, Kim, for giving me the space to chat with you today. I'm really pumped to chat all things meal planning and about That Clean Life today.
Yeah, awesome. I am so looking forward to talking to you too. We are going to be chatting, like you say, all about meal planning. I love this topic. And I definitely know that for many of the people in my audience, people who are health and wellness professionals, this can be kind of a confusing issue sometimes. But there's just, as you know, I know you know, there's just so much potential for wellness professionals to, who want to offer meal planning for their clients or incorporate it into their practice somehow. So I'm really excited for you to, kind of walk us through it today and give us some ideas. Before we get into everything, though, let's just give our audience a bit of context first. So I would love for you just to tell us a bit about you and, of course, tell us about That Clean Life, which is, of course, the company that you're a part of.
Yeah, so my name is Evita Basilio, and I am the dietitian at That Clean Life. So That Clean Life is a nutrition planning software for high performance health professionals designed to help these professionals give beautiful nutrition guidance that's not only flexible, but also really personalized to the client. So it enables nutrition professionals to create and share nutrition resources like meal plans, recipe books, or meal planning guides and recipe or resources created in the software, again, fully customizable to your client's unique needs so that you can deliver a really personalized experience that makes your clients feel seen, heard, and cared for. And you can do all of this without spending hours on it. I want to just dive a little bit into some of the features of That Clean Life and why nutrition planning software is really important. So think about when you're having a client and you're trying to create resources for them. That Clean Life can really enable you to do that quickly. So you can find recipes or the right recipes with using the software in seconds. We have almost 100 ways to filter recipes, so you can quickly find those perfect recipes no matter how complex your client's needs are. And we also add new recipes to our database regularly, so we keep your clients engaged. So actually, we have over 3,500 recipes right now, and
Wow, that's a lot.
counting. Yeah.
That's awesome.
So there's just so much to choose from. And then if you want to take those recipes and create your resources, when it comes to creating meal plans, you can help tons of clients, and you can do this really quickly. So we have a feature called the Automator, which you can just, all you need to do is add your client's dietary goals, and we'll come up with the starting point for you in literally seconds. We have pre-made templates for you to choose from. So a range of ready to use pre-made plans so you can save time, jumpstart any client experience. And all of these plans are comprehensive and come with their own evidence. So we attach scientific evidence to all of our meal plans. So you're creating this evidence-based meal plan, and you can say pretty confidently that you're providing your clients with recipes that they are going to love. So you can be rest assured there, because our team of professional recipe developers create, test, and photograph every recipe. So that helps you, again, save time and create plans with confidence. And then once you've created these plans, they are fully custom branded with your branding, your either your practice or your business or your company's branding. Beautiful food photography, itemized shopping list with all of your plans, prep guide, scientific evidence, personalized notes. And then you just all you have to do is send that to your client. And you can do that either through sharing it through a single secure link or exporting it as a PDF. So super simple to create, to find the right recipes, create your plans, whether that's a meal plan or a recipe book or a meal planning guide, and then send it to your client. Really easy.
That's perfect. I love that. And I just want to highlight one thing that you said about the time saving nature, because like you
Mm-hmm.
described, you guys have got this big team behind the scenes, creating, developing, photographing, testing, like all of that stuff. And who has time to do all of that yourself, right? Like that. I mean,
Exactly.
that to me feels like the hugest benefit is just having it, this whole team that's like working in the background for you, essentially, and just saving you all of that time and hassle. Unless you're a person, of course, who really loves to do that and you've got tons of available time. But, the time saving element there, it's huge.
Yeah, that's a big value proposition. Is time is a really big factor. So when you think about how much time it takes you to create plans, but also have the right recipes,
Mhm.
it's you need good software to enable you to do that quickly and efficiently, so that you can also scale your business and serve more clients and see more clients, and provide that accurate resource. So, again, when you're looking through our filters to find those right recipes, we've already done the work for you, which is creating that nutrition analysis for each recipe and
Mm.
having the right tags attached to it. For example, if you're searching for a low FODMAP or low glycemic, low histamine, low oxalate, vegan, beef free, chicken free, seafood free, whatever the type of recipe you're trying to search for, or specific nutrition filters, we've already done that work for you and able like to, so you can find that accurate recipe or recipes and send that to your client.
Yeah, so you can really customize it to your client, which is, of course, that's what you need when you're working one to one with people,
Exactly.
especially. So, and you guys, that Clean Life, you guys have been around for a while, right? This is not like a brand new thing. Like you guys have been really tried and tested for quite some time, I think.
Exactly. So we've been around for several years, and we've also over the years evolved the software. So we really listen to what our members and our customers are searching for, whether that's different dietary types, programs, features, filters, different nutrients involved, units of measure. We're always in tune, and so providing that enough programs and recipes to help you create that plan accurately. We serve clients from or members from all over the world, and so
Mm.
different types of health professionals too, which makes it really easy that no matter what type of professional you are, or the type of setting you're practicing in, or the type of client you have, we likely have the right recipes and programs and features in place to get you set up for success.
Yeah, I love that, and especially like that you serve clients and customers all around the world. Because I do get that question quite a bit. Many of the people in my community are, they're in the UK or they're in different parts of the US or Canada or Australia or wherever, and we all have slightly different spellings and different units of
Exactly.
measurement, and that would be and even different like sizes of documents and stuff. So if you guys have figured out how to serve people from all over the world, and so that
Mhm.
when people use your recipes, meal plans, all that stuff, it's consistent with the work that they do. That's perfect.
Exactly. So units of measure can be changed. Everything can be completely personalized. And the
Yeah.
other part is we also have like different cultural cuisine recipes. So even if
Mm.
you're based in, say, North America, but your clients are from different cultural backgrounds, follow different traditions, different ways of eating, we've also got, like, when you're filtering recipes, you can find Indian inspired, Asian inspired, African inspired, Caribbean inspired, Mediterranean, Middle Eastern. Um, so all these different types of recipes too, to appeal to your client and also make them, again, feel like the nutrition recommendations that you're providing, then you're implementing their traditions and their beliefs, and they feel really, again, seen and heard, and more likely to implement the plan that you are giving to them, and again, setting them up for success.
Absolutely. I love that. That's great. So, okay, so for the nutrition professional, for the wellness coach, nutritionist, dietitian, whoever, whatever your
Hmm.
role is, but let's say that you are kind of skeptical about the idea of meal planning. Like tell
Yeah.
us a little bit about what is the value that you have seen when wellness and health professionals offer meal planning to their clients.
Yeah, that's a really great question. Is so for anyone skeptical about nutrition planning, I will start by talking about why this might be an important part of your client's success. So, if you think about a client who's been recently diagnosed with a chronic condition now requiring them to think about food in a totally different way, so like chronic kidney disease or diabetes or cardiovascular disease, or maybe they have a medical condition requiring them to pay more attention to particular foods that they're eating, so irritable bowel syndrome, inflammatory bowel disease, even families with food allergies, or someone who's just getting started with meal prep and cooking, and maybe they have high nutrition needs, like young athletes, or even pregnant or women during pregnancy and postpartum who have additional nutrient needs, but they don't know kind of what foods they need to be eating. Or I've even worked with clients just looking to build a healthy relationship with foods and they want to introduce new foods. So all of these nutrition recommendations, they can get quite complicated when a client has this new way of eating or even several medical conditions to manage. And you, as a professional, are giving them all of this education. You're giving them several handouts, maybe even competing recommendations. So that's really confusing. And they, as a client, they're coming to you to seek professional help with their nutrition. And they want this really individualized approach that takes into consideration their unique needs, and they want to learn how to specifically implement the nutrition guidance that you're giving them. And these unique needs, it needs to match their lifestyle, their likes and dislikes, again, culture and tradition, cooking ability, time constraints, family considerations. So they're not looking for a cookie cutter solution where you're like, hey, avoid these foods, eat these foods, this is what you should do. They want to have a plan that's specifically matched to them, as opposed to, a general plan or handout that, tries to please everyone. So I really think connecting clients to the right nutrition plan can really help them be more successful. And I want to specify that nutrition planning can happen in a variety of ways. So it can be a meal plan where, it's a more structured guide for them to follow. But it can also be teaching your clients how to meal plan, where you're simply providing them with a collection of recipes, and a blank plan, and they can, do this in a more relaxed and unstructured way. Or maybe they just need help with one type of meal, like dinner recipes. So you just provide them with a recipe collection for dinner that also matches their nutrition needs and medical condition, or whatever they're coming to see you for. So it's really, I think clients are coming to you for ways to implement the guidance that you're giving them,
Mhm.
not just to hear you give all this education and recommendations. They want something concrete that they can, that's approachable, but that they can easily implement. And I think, yeah, that's really important, but also you, as a practitioner or the professional, you have to decide where your client is in their stage or in their learning journey, and what the right resources is to give to them. But nutrition planning and a meal plan or recipe book can be really helpful, to help them succeed. So again, assessing their education level and creating this personalized resource then that helps them to take action on the education and nutrition recommendations that you provide.
Yeah, I love that. And absolutely, like that customizable and making it actually actionable, I think, is one of the main benefits. Like it takes things beyond just like you said, just a cookie cutter, try and eat more of this, try and eat less of that, that kind of
Yeah,
advice that we've all sort of heard, but and brings it into the real life of their day-to-day life. Like, this is what you can actually do. This is what you need to stock your shelves with. Go purchase this when you go to the grocery store. Like, all of those things, just to make it as easy as possible, because that's just such a huge barrier for our clients. Is like just making it so that it's easy, so that they can actually just do it. But
exactly.
yeah, and that's the key, right? Because they're not going to get the transformation that they need if they're not actually able to do it. So I'd love to dig into a little bit more into like some of the ways, like really specific ways that people can incorporate meal planning and recipes and all those kinds of things into their services. And if you have any, examples of ways that different nutrition professionals have incorporated and like integrated this kind of thing into their practice and their business, I would love to hear about that.
Yeah, absolutely. So you can incorporate meal planning or nutrition planning into your services in a wide variety of ways. So, for example, let's start with meal planning for clients one on one, because this is the most common way that I see meal plans being used by nutrition professionals. So,
Yeah.
a client comes to you with a specific problem, and instead of giving them verbal advice, well, of course, you would do that, but you can also provide them with a meal plan which includes recipes and an itemized shopping list. So, a key point that you mentioned there, Kim, was giving them this grocery list or shopping list to help them actually go to the grocery store and buy the items that they have
Yeah.
to. Is all of our meal plans, all of the meal plans that you create using That Clean Life, we auto generate a shopping list with the
Mm.
right ingredients and quantities, and all of this can be customizable. So you can input, for example, specific brands that you want your client to buy. We've had practitioners who, their clients maybe shop at Trader Joe's or Costco or wherever it might be, and they'll put in specific brand items too, to make it even clearer. And then, so that will help them take the nutrition guidance that you're giving and make it a lot easier for them to implement. So they won't wonder, what can I eat? What should I buy? Because you will have provided them with a plan that takes the guesswork out of it. So whether you choose to include meal planning into your services or charge as an add-on fee, it all
Mm.
depends on your client's needs. But I think both are great options. We did a pricing study earlier in the year too, and we found that nutrition professionals who offer meal planning as an add on service typically will charge $75 for a 1 week plan, but the cost can
Mm.
range significantly, with some professionals charging up to $380 for a 1 week plan. So I just wanted to pop that in there because it's really like there's also the other value proposition of this can add to the amount you charge for your services, because it is a really valuable resource that helps your client implement the recommendations. So another way that you can incorporate meal planning is in group nutrition programs and online courses. So, for example, if you run a group nutrition program, whether that is online or perhaps even like corporate wellness programs, it's a great opportunity to incorporate meal planning. I've heard from our members of That Clean Life who have been able to enroll clients in their programs and courses simply because of the meal plans
Mm.
that they offer. So that's kind of good evidence that people really love having a concrete meal plan to follow. And meal plans, I think, in group programs, they also just foster this sense of community. Like the group, you can ask them to share pictures of what they're making, what recipes they love, and it really helps to get people talking. Or you can just provide recipe books weekly if you don't want a structured plan. Another way that nutrition professionals integrate planning into their private practice is selling like digital downloads. So you could
Mm.
set up a shop section on your website. This is a great way to have ready to go resources available for clients and leads. If you don't
Mm.
want to offer meal planning, or perhaps a client just isn't ready for a custom meal plan, you can always refer them to your online shop and say like, hey, we've got a different list of several digital downloads just ready for download. And they can also give your clients a sneak peek of what it's like to work with you. Another way you can offer meal plans and recipe books as a lead generation or marketing tool. So you could create like a short sample meal plan or recipe book related to your niche. It's a great way to attract your clients. For example, let's say you work with clients who have PCOS, you could create like a meal plan or recipe book that would attract these types of clients, and like a 5-day eating plan for PCOS, or recipe book like the ultimate guide for PCOS friendly snacks. And then again, clients who do not commit to working with a nutrition professional right away, just remember that when they go to your website, they want to get an idea of what it's like to work with you, and they want to get to know you and to trust you. And so creating a free offer like a meal plan or recipe book, really great way to connect with potential clients who want to just see what it's like or what can you offer in your services.
Yeah, that's perfect. So many good ideas in there. And you're right. Like there's just almost endless ways that you could actually incorporate, meal planning and recipes and,
Hmm.
all of that kind of stuff into your business. So, some of those that I just wanted to highlight were having it be an upgrade. Like if you have your coaching program, say like your one-to-one coaching program, then you can have it as an upgrade or like an add-on that you can charge. And I love that you gave us actual numbers. So like from what you guys have seen is like $75 per week is kind of an average. And there's
Hmm.
huge variation in that, I'm sure. But that's so good to have like a ballpark, because I know that this can be very confusing territory for people. But yeah, I mean, you
Yeah.
could add that on as an upgrade, or you can have it just as an a la carte kind of thing. Like because some people, they're not ready for the full enchilada, like the full coaching package, and they just want some help and like you said, take the guesswork out. So yeah, if you can just offer them, here, I'm just going to give you some meal plans, a recipe book, that kind of stuff, and you can be off and running. But that could be like a great kind of gateway program, because a lot of people will, of course, want that because it's very appealing. But then they'll realize once they get in there that actually I kind of need some more guidance and more coaching, more help. And then there you can upgrade. So it can be like all like your whole ecosystem. Yeah,
Exactly.
that's awesome. And then definitely as a list builder, it's a very successful and effective list builder. People just definitely, in my experience, I'm sure that you guys have seen this too, but in my experience, clients just love meal plans, recipes, anything that takes the guesswork out and makes it really easy. There's just something so appealing about that from a client's perspective. And so, if you're a coach, wellness professional, you want to meet your people where they're at. This is what they want. This is what they're asking for. Provide something like that, either as an upgrade, a bonus, whatever it is. And everybody's winning, right?
Yeah, I love that you say that too. Is like it's a good way to surprise people too. Sometimes, like we've had
Mm,
professionals or members use it in their, for example, like their grocery store tours or their online cooking classes. So those are other ways that you could also include it there. Is like the client feels like very heard and like and
yeah.
feels like they're getting a lot of value when they leave with something tangible. So, like one of the best ways to educate your clients and help them succeed long term is also to take them out of the clinic setting and teach them about nutrition in the real world. And
Mm,
grocery store tours are a perfect way to do this. And like you can create your handouts with your specific recipes that use items from the grocery store, and send this or share this with your client that they can use as a reference over and over again in your corporate wellness programs, or any workshops that you're doing, to have something for them to leave with, even your workshops, whether or in cooking classes, whether online or in person. Great way to build community around your brand. Also great
mm,
value, I think, a great added revenue stream for your nutrition business. And you
yeah.
can use Dackling Life to create your materials for these sort of programs, and then have your clients leaving feeling like, okay, we got this awesome resource to go home with that we can start implementing right away.
Yeah, I love that. I'm wondering, what are some of the myths that you have
Mm.
heard or encountered, that you've heard from people around this topic of offering meal planning to clients?
Yeah, that's a great question. So one of the biggest things that I hear is that, you're not teaching your clients how to meal plan, though. You don't want to just send them
Hmm.
with a meal plan and then they might not learn the actual skills. So you're not providing the right tools. And I think, again, it's up to you as the practitioner to figure out what the right resource is to give to your client, because meal planning can happen in different ways. So some might think that if you give a client a meal plan, that you're not teaching them the skills to do their own meal planning, and there's more to it. I don't think they're mutually exclusive.
Hmm.
Um, Again, with that clean life too, you can also teach your clients how to meal plan. So you don't necessarily have to give them a meal plan right away. You can give them a blank template with a recipe collection to do that. We actually have many members who set their clients up with different, every week they'll get it more advanced. So, for example, the first week, they just get a structured plan
Mm,
and that they will follow to a T, or as closely as possible. So they have a basic understanding of, getting set up for meal prep and planning. And then the next week, maybe they'll add on a recipe collection. So now the client they have their basic meal plan, but now they're using the recipe collection to swap out some of those meals. And then the third week, or maybe a couple of weeks later, you're giving the client just a blank plan with a collection of recipes, and you're like, hey, now it's up to you to mix and match, to choose where those recipes will fall. So again, understanding where your client is in their education level and their learning journey when it comes to nutrition, and setting them up for success in that way. There's also this myth that nutrition professionals, or meal plans are calorie focused and super strict plans that don't provide
mm,
choices. And they don't have to be this way. This is a very old school way of thinking. It's up to you as a nutrition professional to decide whether to include or exclude nutrition facts on your meal plan and the recipes within it. And at That Clean Life, we have that feature to enable or to disable nutrition information for clients. So when it comes to giving options, many of our nutrition professionals provide a meal plan as a guide, and then they'll give on that recipe book of recipe collection of alternative recipes and meal options. So a client can say, okay, I can have this for breakfast, or my coach also gave me this recipe book of other breakfast options to choose from. And then at the same time, you can teach your client how to make ingredient swaps within individual recipes.
mm.
For example, all of our recipes come with a note section that you can say, hey, if you don't have this ingredient, use this instead. So this way, your client are not shopping for a ton of ingredients also that might go to waste. Instead, they're planning with what they have. Also, you as a coach can search for recipes within That Clean Life that use the ingredients that your clients have at home or have on hand. Flexible nutrition planning is so important for us, and also removing or excluding nutrition facts if needed. So it's up to you as a professional to find what works for your client, and then you can use That Clean Life to help you get there. And many people, I think, just simply don't know what to eat or where to find recipes to help them follow
It's
the
true.
coach's advice, which we as nutrition practitioners, and I've worked in the clinical world for a long time, and you kind of think your clients, well, you give them this education that they might just know how to implement it right away. And that's just really not true. They're coming to you for that expert advice and for that grocery list and for that really clear cut idea of how to get started. And I think that's what's important, especially if they have, food preferences or dietary restrictions or just more challenges, and their meal planning becomes more complex. So you definitely, I agree. You want to teach your clients the skills to do their own meal planning, but it's overwhelming at first. So taking it all back home, when they take your education back home, the first place that clients usually go is back to the internet to find out, okay, but how do I actually implement this
Right.
education? So teaching them or showing them what meals that they can actually cook, making meal planning exciting in that way. Even if they're diagnosed with a new condition, like for example, diabetes, and they're told to restrict their carbohydrates, and now they're feeling like all of their favorite foods are gone. Just giving them an idea of a meal plan or a recipe book with all of these amazing recipes that they can have that still respect their needs, and also maybe include their favorite foods in there, that can be really inspiring, motivating, and help them feel like they
Mhm.
can actually follow their new way of eating. And all of this is really time consuming if you don't have the right software to do it, so kind of that's where that clean life comes in.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, when you were describing that whole process, what I was really thinking about, it sounds kind of like training wheels, right? Like, yes,
Hmm.
ultimately you don't want your clients to be dependent on you to plan their meals and tell them what to eat. Ultimately, they need to take over. But in the beginning, when they are just bewildered by the whole thing and really confused and overwhelmed, you're providing the training wheels. You're starting them off. Okay, this is what it would look like, and then gradually, I love how you walked through that process, like that step by step. So then in the next week, you're giving them a bit more of autonomy, right? Then they're more empowered to actually, because they've had a template, they've seen what it looks
Yeah.
like to create healthy meals, a healthy meal plan for your day, for your week, all of that kind of thing. So it's really like training wheels, is what I was thinking.
Exactly. And I forgot to mention this part is when you share your plan with your client. So there's two ways that you can send your client their meal plan. You can either share it through a single secure link that takes your client right into the software for an interactive experience and everything. You can allow edits, for example, that allows them to change serving sizes, swap meals,
Mm.
move things around, and all of those changes that they make on their end, you as a professional can see on your end. So you can see the changes that your client's making and provide feedback in real time, which I think is a really fun way to
That's
give them that
cool. Yeah.
autonomy. Yeah, give them that autonomy, but also you can, maybe double check, make sure their work's all correct. That's what they're
Right.
doing. And they're more accountable too. So you can see, okay, they're using their plan, they're working through it, see their thought processes, give them feedback. So really, yeah, teaching those clients how to meal plan. Or if that's overwhelming for your client, you can export their plan or their recipe book as a PDF, and then they can have that on their refrigerator. And everything that they export from the software or that you share from the software is also completely custom branded with your branding, so that they see, okay, well, my wellness coach or my health coach, they gave me this. This is how it looks like, great, and it's specially made for me. I can play around with it. They can see what's happening on their end so that they can also give me feedback. So it's accountable, really flexible, but we also don't want to make your clients do all the work. You're on your end making sure that they're doing what's right, and you can turn off that editing feature at any point to say,
Mm.
like, you're like, hey, your plan looks amazing, let's turn off sharing. But that'll keep them engaged. So every week maybe you send them a new blank plan or maybe a partly curated plan with a new collection of recipes, and so they stay engaged and excited, and they're more likely to stay on with you as a practitioner as well, because you're like continuously providing more resources, more guidance. They're not fully reliable on you. They can start to make their own swaps and learn how to do things on their own, but it's completely flexible for you to provide the right nutrition guidance for the right client in the right way. And at That Clean Life, we don't plan with individual foods. So, planning with a cup of this and a cup of that can be
Mhm.
quite old school and boring, and might feel a bit more rigid or even create some disordered behaviors there. So we plan with like really vibrant, delicious recipes that get your clients excited and more likely to achieve their health goals. And we always provide you with a solid starting point, so you'll never have to start from scratch again, whether it's automation or ready to use templates. We're all about saving you time again. So
Mm.
at That Clean Life, we believe that the clients need a plan to achieve their goals, and that providing personalized nutrition plans should be easy, and focusing on that high level customization and those beautifully designed plans that actually inspire your clients to implement your nutrition guidance.
Yeah, I love that. It's because starting from scratch is the worst.
Yeah,
Like we've
agreed.
all had that experience of just like staring at the blank page and not really knowing where to begin. This is true for you. This is true for your clients. Like all of that kind of thing. So I love that this really jumpstarts that whole process. So I mean, I'm sure that there are
Mhm.
people who are listening who are thinking, yes, actually, meal planning would be a great add-on or upgrade or standalone service that I would love to offer. And there's a lot of different ways that people could offer meal planning. And I just want to circle back to like what that Clean Life offers that is, how is it different than other ways that somebody might try offering meal planning in their practice?
Yeah, so there's definitely different softwares out there. So once you come to that, maybe that idea that you're like, okay, I do need nutrition planning software in my practice, and I want to incorporate it into these services. So that's maybe your
Hmm.
first step. And then, what makes that Clean Life a little bit different is it's flexible. So you can create your meal plans, you can create recipe books, recipe collections, meal planning guides where you teach your clients how to meal plan. We don't compete for your clients, so we strictly are for professional use, and we don't offer a membership for personal use. So we have some members saying, like, well, what stops my clients from coming into that Clean Life and just getting their own membership and making their own meal plans and getting their own recipes?
Right.
So we don't compete for your clients. We don't plan with individual foods, and we don't make your clients do the work. So while many nutrition tools shift the work to the client when it comes to meal planning, we keep you, the health professional, in the driver's seat. So you're in
Mm.
full control of providing a professional, personalized nutrition experience. And saving time, I think, is a really big factor. So you can do all of this literally in seconds, depending on the type of plan you're creating. So using our automator, you can create a plan in seconds. Using our pre-made templates might take a little, maybe minutes, maybe 10 minutes, because you're taking our
Right.
pre-made program and you're making a copy of it, editing it. Or you can take a little bit longer. So we have a recent member, if you can head to our blog, you can read her story, where she uses personalized lab tests.
Hmm.
So using those comprehensive lab tests to create plans from scratch, and then only takes her 30 minutes to create each plan. So again, really quickly, but being really highly personalized plans, finding those perfect recipes that match, maybe the diet type, cooking method, meal type, as well as nutrition goals. For those clients, and you can create that highly personalized plan, and should be really easy using the software. And I think time is a big factor. So we have nutrition professionals who are previously putting countless hours into creating those meal plans and recipe books for clients. Like that member I just talked about, previously took 8 to 10 hours for her to create plans from hand. And now with That Clean Life, it takes her 30 minutes. That's
Oh,
a
wow.
huge
That's a huge
difference. Yeah.
difference. Yeah. To reclaim that amount of time in your week, that's awesome.
Exactly. So you're only spending a fraction of the time using the software. That's a huge return on your investment.
Hmm.
Or maybe you're thinking now, okay, I want to incorporate nutrition planning in my practice, but this is going to be, I've other things that I want to do. Maybe you have a lot of cool and exciting things like blogging
Yeah.
or investing in other aspects of your business. So maybe you're nervous that you're just not going to have the time. I can guarantee you that we have members who were previously creating all their content from scratch, and then they found That Clean Life, and it freed up their time to grow their list, to nurture their leads, get
Mm.
back to blogging, all of the stuff that kind of takes a backseat when you're just too busy for it. Um, Personalization can't emphasize this enough, that we can help you create a really personalized plan. We also have an assessment tool to help you interview your clients and collect the right information, to help you create that best customized plan. And then all you have to do next is use That Clean Life to search for those recipes, and then find those items that your clients are going to love, and add them to your weekly plan. And then that shopping list automatically generated. And some of the most successful members of That Clean Life are really working with specific health conditions. And That Clean Life makes
Mhm.
it really easy to find recipes and meal plans or recipe books that are perfect for clients coping with an illness or requiring a specific type of diet. And then again, creating those resources, once you're done creating them, you can share them, either through that link or that PDF really easily, which creates that interactive experience for your client if that's what you want. or if you want just a really professionally branded, beautiful handout that you want to give your clients, we also have the option for that. So I think flexibility, personalization to provide that beautiful nutrition guidance is made very easy using That Clean Life.
Yeah, I love that. And I love how you said that you guys don't compete for their clients, right? So,
Yeah.
and all I just want to just clarify that when people, so as a professional, you put together a meal plan, develop or build a recipe book, you selected the recipes and you download that stuff all gets downloaded and branded as your own, right? It's not
Yes,
looking like it's coming from That Clean Life. It looks
exactly.
like, if you're using this inside your business, it looks exactly like it's just coming from you. Like these are recipes that you're have put together, compiled, created, disseminated out to your clients, right?
Exactly. I think that's really important is because
Hmm.
when you have like shabby looking resources and maybe you download it from another
Yeah.
website or another organization which is not branded to you, or you're putting stuff together in a Word document or Pages or whatever it might be. Maybe you're
Right.
making a meal plan in Excel and you're trying to then move it to Canva to professionally make it look good. We take all that work out for you.
Right.
You choose the recipes. Again, you can modify everything in the recipe. You can modify the directions, the notes, the ingredients, the name, the photo. You can do whatever you want in there to make it,
Mm.
more customized to you. You can also add your own recipes into the software. So if
That's
you do
awesome.
have, your own recipes, your own blog, your own website, your cookbook, whatever it might be that you want to have, that you want to use recipes from, you can add your own recipes. And then we just take it professionally branded for you. Again, fully customized to your branding, and you can send that to your client, which is a huge game changer because I think clients want to leave feeling like I picked the right coach, I picked the right professional
Yes.
who's giving
Yes.
me the right resource, I'm getting good value for this. There is no That Clean Life name or branding attached to it. We want you to take full credit for what you're doing in here, and make it look like you've completely made, because you have in the end. You have, you're just
Right.
using That Clean Life recipes, but again, fully customized, and then it looks beautiful. And we've heard from our members that it makes such a huge difference to their clients, and they feel more inspired to follow it, because they're like, hey, my coach made me this personalized
Mm.
resource, that looks beautiful and delicious. Again, all of our food photography, our recipe developers do an amazing job. And all these recipes are fully tested to be family friendly. They're tested in home kitchens. So they're not using, some commercial kitchen equipment. They're using just what your clients have at home.
Oh, that's
And they're
cool.
tested.
That's really
Yeah,
good to know. Yeah.
exactly. It's tested in home kitchens, tested by our recipe developers' kids and families. So you
That's
know
awesome.
that it tastes good. And so you can guarantee that your client is going to be really happy with the resource that they're getting.
I love that. You're making wellness professionals look good. I love that.
Exactly. That's our end goal is we want you to look good. We want you to be
Yeah.
successful and to be able to scale your business to serve more clients, save more time, and actually give your clients, again, that tangible, actionable guidance that they can follow so that you make the world a healthier place.
Exactly. Yes, that's that. I'm all about that. That's what we're all about around here. So that's perfect. This has been so fun, Evita. You've just really shared a ton of great information with us. It's just been such a pleasure talking with you. Before we go, for sure, I want you to tell us where people can go to learn more about That Clean Life.
Absolutely. So you can visit our website. It's thatcleanlife.com.
Mhm.
And all of our information is over there. If you're interested in our membership options, we have monthly and yearly memberships. And you can find that again on the website, thatcleanlife.com/pricing. If you want to learn more about maybe some of our members' success stories, or
Mm.
maybe you want to know more about how to implement That Clean Life or meal planning in your practice, how to price your services, how to market your services. All of that information is on our blog, so blog.thatcleanlife.com,
Mm.
or follow us on social media. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. Just look for That Clean Life.
Perfect. That's great. I will put all that stuff in the show notes. And thank you so much, Evita. This has just been such a pleasure chatting to you.
Thanks so much.
Okay, well, there you have it. I hope that you enjoyed that discussion all around meal planning and that it got your juices flowing in terms of all the different ways that you might integrate this highly popular service into your practice in a way that just doesn't represent a ton of additional work on your part, but that does give a ton of value to your clients. Now, I would love to hear from you on this. Is meal planning something that you do currently? And if not, is it something that you would actually like to add to your current offerings or your lineup? Let me know in the comments below this video. Or, of course, if you're listening to the audio of this episode, then just go ahead and find me on Instagram and let me know. Okay, that is what I've got for you today. Have a wonderful week, and I will see you again very soon.